Well folks, I got my answer to the question of how super is that glue, and the answer is not enough. It lasted for a few days and then the fault lights came up again. So I'm going to have round two, and this time I'm going to be a bit more proactive on preventing future breaks. I have all my equipment ready. I had looked for my digital vernier calipers to try and measure a couple of things, but yeah, I've seen them, I'm sure, since we've unpacked the containers, but damn if I can locate them now. That is likely to be the situation for quite some time. Things will go missing. Anyway, I'll get on with stripping this thing down to the original state. So here's a broken off piece again, and that's where it's broken off from. So looking at this, there's a screw through it to hold the end piece on the shaft. And you can see the screw doesn't really penetrate down the shaft very far. So one thing I'll do is look for a longer screw that will fit into that hole. I'll measure how deep it is to make sure I don't get too long a screw. And I'll also drill a couple of small holes either side of that hole to put some metal reinforcement rods into. That will actually involve gluing that back on there first, letting it dry, then drill through without this sweeper arm on it. Yeah, so I'll get on with that. Okay, there's super glue holding that in place again. I'll give that half an hour to dry, and then I will start drilling for reinforcement rods. Well, enough time has passed for that glue to have dried, so now I've got my trusty pin vise with a 0.5 millimetre diameter drill bit in it, and I want to drill it in about that deep in two places. And I have some hypodermic needles, a 0.5 millimetre gauge. So the plan is to put those in far enough to provide a bridge across that break, and cut them off at that length, and then get a screw that length also to grip further down into the actual shaft of the plastic. So let's see how I go. That's what the plan is. Hypodermic needle into the hole, but I'm going to drill much deeper at this point to see if I can get down to full length of that needle. I figure that's more is better. It turns out it can't go full depth because the shaft of the tiny little drill I'm using is not long enough. I've got to be able to grip something in the pin vise, so that's about the limit of where I can go. So I figure I'll cut off the pointy tip and cut off the plastic base, and it should be about the right length, and then I can do another one. I don't know if this picture is clear enough to make that out, but there's 4 little holes around that central screw hole now. The one on the right has got a pin in it that I put a bit of super glue on and put it in. Then I drilled the second one, which ended up spearing out the side of the shaft towards that back flange. Oh, well, that's not right. So then I drilled the third one at the top, and that went in all the way into that flange at the back. Then I thought, I wonder if I can redirect or do another one more opposing that first one. So I tried starting another one and ended up spearing out the side too. So then I thought, okay, well I'll try and redirect that, and in doing that the tip of the drill bit snapped off in there now. But anyway, I put the hypodermic needle into that top one now, and that goes all the way back into the flange, so I'm sure that will give it a bit more strength. Now I've just got to find a screw the right length for that central hole. Okay, that's a much longer screw in there now, so it should go and grip into the material on the other side of the break, I hope. So we have 2 reinforcement shafts across the brake, a screw across the brake, and super glue on the brake. So if it doesn't hold up this time, machine's toast, because I can't think of anything more to do than that. So let's see how we go. Well, it's all back together. I'll go and connect it back to power and we'll see how long it lasts. If it doesn't, I'll put an update on this video at some later stage. Time to go and upload this.